Alright, here we go. This is all stuff for my V8 Ranger swap kit. These would be my oil filter relocators. They come with several different fittings and hoses, just for whatever setup or way you want to go with it. I have a smaller starter. I had problems with headers clearing with the old one that's more round than this, so I'd go with this. And here is the header that I had trouble with. It bolts right up to the head and goes straight down. Well, that hardly clears the frame, and it hits the stock starter. So that's the reasoning for that. These headers are out of Jegs magazine. They have a good deal with the swap kits. I believe I got it for $300, and you can add and subtract parts that you want or don't want. So it kind of works out. Other places say $500–600. You have to get the oil pan, you have to get the headers, you have to get the plates for the motor mounts. Just kind of hassle with other people. Jegs actually worked out really well for me. These right here would be my cut to fit spark plug wires. You do need a tool for these to attach the other ends. I have not used a set of these yet, so when I do end up using them, I will let you know how those go. Right here is my Sunpro oil pressure gauge. I like Sunpro. They haven't gone wrong for me yet. You can use the original plastic lines that are inside there, but if you nick a header or anything while it's hot, you're going to bust a hole right in that and you're going to spray oil everywhere. So it's worth it to buy the copper lines. You're not going to melt it. It's a few bucks more, and it's less of a hassle. So I did pick that up. That will be being used. These I'm going carbureted. I'm running just rubber fuel line. I'm going to run 2 of these. These are fuel filters. It's just what it is. And here is my fuel pump. I'm going with mechanical, just because I'd just rather not do the extra wiring right now, and I've never had one really fail on me. They last forever. There's a few other things I had to pick up for my swap. These are header bolts. They come with their own wrench. It just kind of seemed like the thing to get. The swap kit did not come with those. Got my carburetor studs, which I think I did pick up the wrong set. I want the longer one so I can run a spacer on my carb. It helps atomize the fuel when you have more distance for the fuel to get to the cylinders, and you'll be able to run a little bit better, maybe even mile per hour. These are just fittings for the carburetor throttle, and I'll probably end up using one on my transmission, just for the simple fact my Ranger does have the floor mounted shifter. And once you go underneath, it's the same concept as a throttle cable to hook up your linkage. Then of course I got my air cleaner studs. It's always nice to get a set of those. This would be my throttle bracket. These things are really nice, easy to adjust. They come with your springs and everything. And here, you just can't really see it, but there's the linkage for the throttle on there. And all kinds of hardware that's nice to have. Now, one thing that I had a problem with this before is that this right here, your throttle cable bolts up to this, then it meets right in the middle with the carburetor right here. If you put this all on and you don't adjust this, you could be sitting with your idle high and you'll be messing with it and trying to figure out why your idle's high. I actually have another video of a 79 Mustang 347 stroker, and in the daylight pictures, the videos, you'll see that it sounded like it was idling high. That was the reason, and we did end up getting that situated. He was just kind of in a hurry to go for a ride. We'd been working on it for a while. Now, these are actually for the headers. These are the flanges and everything. Those did come with the kit. They're all ready to bolt up and weld onto pipes. These right here, I decided to go with 90s for my transmission lines, because they mount up on the passenger side of the transmission, and with my radiator, the right where the trans lines hook up, it's on the driver's side. So I was going to go over the top of the transmission and up the driver's side in the frame rail and hook it up there. I'm probably not going to use the radiator as my transmission cooling, just for the simple fact that's more heat inside the radiator. Just better off just getting a trans cooler yourself. These right here screw straight into the transmission, and this right here screws into this, and that's pretty much it. I got several of these things. These little bastards are expensive. I got them from Tom Craft. He's located off of Block in Merriman, and that's in Westland, Michigan. Don't confuse it with Bach. It's B-L-O-C-K. It's just north of Ford Road. And on the left-hand side, there's a church there. You take that side street past the stop sign, and you'll see a bunch of stuff off the side, like a little strip behind a building. And he's right in there. He's a good guy. Sells a lot of good parts, good deals on them. This right here is for my water pump. It's an electric motor. I decided to go this route just for the simple fact I want less pulleys on my belt, and this way I can have a consistent flow instead of a flow matching my revolutions per minute. I am also going with an open thermostat. I hacked up a regular thermostat and took all the guts out of it and made it pretty much a washer, because for this I'm not going to really need a thermostat to open and close, because that pretty much is just the flow of the antifreeze. Since you do have it on a belt, this way you don't need that, because it's just a steady flow the whole time. Right here I got some valve springs. I believe these were not the correct size. They'd have to be shimmed, but this is just in case I want to go with the larger cam. I was actually thinking about maybe a 540, 540, 310 duration, but we'll see about that. This is my distributor. This thing's actually kind of special. It's a MSD distributor. It's actually, ignition box is built in, so you don't need the MSD box with this distributor. Although you still do need a coil. I was actually going to lock this one out and get rid of the vacuum advanced. That way you don't have vacuum to adjust your timing to advance it with more RPM. You'll just have a steady degree the whole time you're driving. So that's pretty much it for all that. Right here we have my radiator. This, I went up to Tom Craft and he had called somebody else to specially make this for my Ranger. This thing's actually pretty much a beast. This goes straight up inside my core support. Let me see, here we go. I'm going to take a tape measure and I'm going to put it across the top so you can see exactly how thick this thing really is. There's 3 inches right there. And let's go across. We have 22 by 17. So it's definitely worth it. I paid actually quite a bit for it. I believe it was $450. It's got my fittings for my trans lines. It's got this right here. Since it does go into the core support, this is moved up so you can access it. And here for the overflow, and also a drain plug right here. So yeah, I'm definitely satisfied with it. I'm actually going with the stock fuel injected gas tank. What I've done here, I really don't want to take that apart, but I took the pump out and just ran a line in there straight to the bottom. That's why I'm doing 2 fuel pumps. This right here would be gas coming out, and since it's not fuel injected anymore, I just blocked off the fuel return. That's pretty much all I really had to do. And here would be my drive shaft. I have a new yoke and everything sitting inside the C4 trans. This obviously came out of a overdrive trans for a Ranger. Had the 2.9 V6 in it. Now this one is actually too short. I believe I need 5 more inches. So I was going to take this up to Shaftmasters, which is out by Lincoln Park off of, I believe it's 75 and Southfield. And I had one drive shaft done by them before, and they did a really good job on it. So I'm definitely going back to them. And that's all I have here. I will have another video up soon showing you the truck and what all I've done to that. And thank you for watching. Bye.